With 2017 coming to an end, there are a number of potential super fights that can be booked for 2018, which would have MMA fans excited. Thank you so much for your feedback from our last post, and here is 10 super fights to make in 2018. Number 10. Yeah, this fight will be very good. A matchup between current UFC Women's Strawweight Champion Namajunas versus the newly crowned Women's Flyweight Champion Montano would be an exciting super fight to see. As you guys know, Namajunas last defeated Ioana Jędrzejczyk by TKO in the first round at UFC 217 to become the new UFC Strawweight Champion of the world. Most recently, Montano last defeated Roxanne Modafferi by a unanimous decision at the Ultimate Fighter 26 finale to become the first ever UFC Women's Flyweight Champion of the world. Namajunas has looked very impressive in her last few fights, where she has shown massive growth to her fighting skills. Montano started her mixed martial arts career in late 2015, where she has put together an MMA record of 4 wins and 2 losses. Both fighters are new champions who are showing massive amounts of growth in each fight. I believe both fighters need more experience, and if they keep defending their titles, then this fight would definitely make sense. Hopefully we can see it in 2018. Number 9. Yeah, this fight would be very good. The former UFC featherweight champion Jose Aldo versus former bantamweight champion Garbrandt. Jose Aldo was last unable to win back his title at UFC 218, where he lost the fight by TKO to Max Holloway. Garbrandt was unable to make his first title defense, where he last lost his title to Dillashaw by TKO at UFC 217. Whilst Jose Aldo was the champion, he smashed all of his competition with ease, where he racked up 7 consecutive title defenses. He was the king of the featherweight division for a very long time, where once losing his title to Conor McGregor at UFC 194, we have seen a massive decline in his performances. Garbrandt was able to put together 5 action-packed wins together in the UFC before he dominated Dominic Cruz at UFC 207, winning the UFC bantamweight title. This fight would be very interesting to see, as Garbrandt has mentioned in the past they would like to jump up to the featherweight division and would fight the former featherweight king. As you guys know, Garbrandt has knockout power and is very quick with his punches, whereas Jose Aldo has faced the best of the best and is most notably known for his vicious leg kicks. This super fight between 2 former champions will be a great fight to see, and hopefully we can see in 2018. Number 8. Yes, this fight. Former UFC light heavyweight champion Jon Jones versus former heavyweight champion Velasquez. Jon Jones last fought Daniel Cormier at UFC 214, where he was able to temporarily win back his light heavyweight title by knockout, but the decision was overturned due to Jon Jones testing positive for turinabol. Velasquez last defeated Travis Brown by TKO at UFC 200. As of right now, Jon Jones has been stripped of his UFC light heavyweight title and has been suspended. As for Velasquez, he hasn't fought in 2017 due to injuries and is expected to be back in 2018. Jon Jones has always teased the move up to the heavyweight division in the future, and the perfect opponent for him would be Velasquez. A healthy Velasquez can wreck anybody on any given day and has the ability to make good fighters look bad. Jon Jones has just overpowered all the fighters he has faced in his UFC career, where his potential is just out of this world. This super fight would get MMA fans excited across the world, as both fighters have different fighting styles. Hopefully we can see in 2018. Number 7. Yes, this fight would be amazing. The current UFC flyweight champion Demetrious Johnson versus the current UFC bantamweight champion TJ Dillashaw. Demetrious Johnson last defeated Ray Borg by an armbar at UFC 216, breaking the record of the most consecutive title defenses, which was set by Anderson Silva, which has now been exceeded by Demetrious Johnson, which is 11 title defenses. TJ Dillashaw last won his title back when he defeated Garbrandt by TKO at UFC 217. Earlier in the year, TJ Dillashaw campaigned to fight Demetrious Johnson for the flyweight title, but Demetrious Johnson declined. Now with TJ Dillashaw as the champion, it makes perfect sense for this fight to happen. This fight will give Demetrious Johnson an opportunity to solidify himself as the GOAT, and it will give TJ Dillashaw the opportunity to win a second belt. Both fighters have completely different fighting styles. TJ Dillashaw likes to use a lot of footwork and movement to attack his opponents from awkward angles. Demetrious Johnson is arguably the most well-rounded fighter in the UFC, who is just excellent in all areas of the fight. It will be interesting to see how TJ Dillashaw looks at flyweight, and if he's able to still perform to his best. This super fight is very intriguing, where hopefully we can see in 2018. Number 6. Yes, this fight would be very big. The current UFC welterweight champion Tyron Woodley versus the former UFC middleweight champion George St-Pierre. Tyron Woodley last defeated Damian Maia by a unanimous decision at UFC 214. GSP last made his comeback and was able to choke Michael Bisping unconscious, winning the UFC middleweight title. Tyron Woodley is a dangerous welterweight fighter whose power can bring any man down in the welterweight division. Tyron Woodley has currently defended his title 3 consecutive times, where he looks like a dominant champion. GSP was once the long-reigning dominant welterweight champion who was able to defend his title 9 consecutive times before vacating it. This fight is very interesting for GSP, as he is known for his high-level wrestling skills and has taken everyone down he has faced. Tyron Woodley, on the other hand, has the highest takedown defense, where it will be very difficult for GSP to take him down. Tyron Woodley has that one-punch knockout power, where it will be interesting to see how GSP would handle that. This super fight does seem very interesting, and hopefully we can see it in 2018. Number 5. Yes, this will be another very big fight. The current UFC lightweight champion Conor McGregor versus the current UFC welterweight champion Tyron Woodley. Conor McGregor last defeated Eddie Alvarez by TKO at UFC 205 to become the new UFC lightweight champion of the world. Tyron Woodley last defeated Damian Maia by a unanimous decision at UFC 214. As you guys know, Conor McGregor has been out for a year due to the boxing match he had with Floyd Mayweather, where he lost by TKO, whereas Tyron Woodley has been keeping himself busy, where he has defended his title 3 times. If you guys remember at UFC 205, both fighters had altercation at the UFC 205 weigh-ins, which generated a lot of interest. Tyron Woodley has the power to sleep any fighter with a single strike and is also an excellent wrestler. Conor McGregor's calmness and patience, combined with his heavy accurate strikes, has helped him defeat some of the best fighters in the UFC. If you guys notice in Conor McGregor's fights, a lot of his opponents just become a shell of themselves whenever they fight him, where Conor McGregor basically is able to do what he wants. We have seen Tyron Woodley do this when he faced Rory McDonald at UFC 174, where Rory McDonald was just backing him up and he wasn't doing anything. The size difference between both fighters is insane, where Tyron Woodley will definitely have the power advantage. This super fight could be massive if it was ever booked, and hopefully it happens in 2018.
Number 4.
Yes, 2 monsters fighting each other. The number 1 ranked heavyweight Francis Ngannou versus the former UFC heavyweight champion Brock Lesnar. Francis Ngannou last viciously knocked out Alistair Overeem at UFC 218. Brock Lesnar last faced Mark Hunt at UFC 200, where his unanimous decision win was overturned to a no contest due to him testing positive for banned substances. With just over 4 years of MMA training, Francis Ngannou has made it to the top of the UFC within 2 years, where all of his wins have come by finishes. Brock Lesnar is one of the most recognizable figures in the sporting world, where he was able to have a great run in the UFC. Francis Ngannou has the ability to knock out any fighter dead with a single strike and is just a very intimidating force. Brock Lesnar is known for his high-level wrestling game, where he is able to take down every fighter he has faced. Francis Ngannou has mentioned that his dream fight would be against Brock Lesnar if he ever made his return. Francis Ngannou is currently scheduled to face champion Stipe Miocic at UFC 220, where if he is successful in winning the title, this fight would be the biggest heavyweight fight in UFC history. Hopefully, we can see it happen in 2018.
Number 3.
Another big fight, the former UFC light heavyweight champion Jon Jones versus the former UFC heavyweight champion Brock Lesnar. Jon Jones last fought Daniel Cormier at UFC 214, where he was able to temporarily win back his UFC light heavyweight title by knockout, but the decision was overturned due to Jon Jones testing positive for Turinabol. Brock Lesnar last faced Mark Hunt at UFC 200, where his unanimous decision win was overturned to a no contest due to him testing positive for banned substances. In Jon Jones' post-fight interview at UFC 214, he called out Brock Lesnar in a heavyweight fight, but the fight never materialized due to Jon Jones being suspended. Jon Jones is currently on the sidelines, whereas Brock Lesnar has gone back to the WWE. This fight will be very interesting, as Brock Lesnar is like an ape who has the ability to overpower his opponents using his wrestling. Jon Jones has teased the move to the heavyweight division many times, but this fight would be a great test for him. It will be interesting to see how Jon Jones will deal with Brock Lesnar's wrestling and how Jon Jones will try to defeat this beast of a man. This super fight between both former UFC world champions is a very intriguing fight, where hopefully we can see in 2018.
Number 2.
This rematch would be amazing to see. The current UFC lightweight champion Conor McGregor versus the current UFC featherweight champion Max Holloway. As you guys know, Conor McGregor last defeated Eddie Alvarez by TKO at UFC 205, where he became the UFC lightweight champion. Max Holloway just recently defeated Jose Aldo by TKO at UFC 218, successfully defending his UFC featherweight title. As you guys know, both fighters fought each other at UFC Fight Night 26, where Conor McGregor won the fight by unanimous decision. However, since that fight, both fighters have gone on different paths, where they have just looked so dominant. Conor McGregor was able to hold both the UFC featherweight and the lightweight titles simultaneously, whereas Max Holloway has put together a 10-fight winning streak, where he has 2 victories over the former featherweight king Jose Aldo. Both fighters need to face off to see who has made the most improvements, where hopefully we can see this fight happen in 2018.
Number 1.
Now this is the biggest super fight to make in my opinion in 2018. The current UFC lightweight champion Conor McGregor versus the former UFC middleweight and welterweight champion George St-Pierre. I've mentioned this many times in this video that Conor McGregor last defeated Eddie Alvarez by TKO at UFC 205, where he became the first ever two-way world champion. GSP last made his comeback and was able to choke Michael Bisping unconscious, winning the UFC middleweight title and later vacated his title. Both fighters have accomplished a lot of things in their career. They both have won 2 belts in 2 different weight classes and have dominated their opponents impressively. Conor McGregor is known for his signature left hand, where he has just flattened his opponents. GSP is the most complete fighter who can strike, wrestle and grapple, where he has shut down high-level fighters. Both fighters have completely different fighting styles, which makes the fight more interesting. This fight could easily sell out a stadium in both Canada and Ireland, where it would be a great spectacle to witness. This is the biggest super fight to make, and hopefully we can see it happen in 2018.